stream, let me tell you. Damn, peak. Hold on, y'all. I gotta catch my breath after that one. That's probably partly my fault because you got too much wet food last night. I miss Boo. Give me a minute here. We'll share some links, get some people in here, hopefully. Oh, man. Move out of her butt. Aren't you two just too cute? Copy the link. Go to the Discord. Find the right server, because I'm on too many damn servers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, good morning, Miss Thing. Good morning, Miss Thing. Are you going to go up and close and personal with them today? I don't think they need to see that much of you, lady thingy. Facebook. I apologize, but right now I cannot see. The chat because there's a gray kitty in the way. Did I only shared the freaking X link? Is that? You guys are kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Hold on, y'all. My dumbass. It's just posting the X link. Isn't that wonderful? It is. Fluff, you're falling down, Bubbies. You're okay, you're okay. I got you. Relax. Relax, baby boy. I got you. Yes, you're fine. You're fine, baby. Okay, let me go fix my screw up here on the other thing. There we go. Hi, boo. Okay, so make sure I turn it down. Hi, Dave. Hi, Thomas. Good morning, my friends. How are you? I'm sorry you're looking at a gray sky, but it's not. It's actually my sweet pea. It's actually my sweet pea here, who's being hidden by Boo now. Miss Boo, would you please lay down? Can you please lay down, Miss Boo? Come on. It's been a while since I've had this many kittens when the cats want to be on my lap, you know it? So, we're going to... Do you want to surf TikTok or do you want to surf Facebook Reels? Go find some crazy shit to watch. Which one sounds like you're going to find crazier stuff? Good morning to the two other people on YouTube that are lurking in the background. Hopefully you're having a good day. If there's something you would like to talk about, please let me know. This young man right here, really, Boo, right as I'm starting to talk about him. Come on, hop down. Come on, Boo, get down. Thank you, sir. Sweetheart. So this little boy here finally showed up last night. He was gone for a week. Really, Boo. Thomas says TikTok. Alright, bud. It'll be TikTok. Alright, sweetheart. I hate to do this, but I gotta set you down. I got to sit you down. Yes, there you go. Alright. I always forget to set my studio up before I get into this shit. So, gotta do that. And then, if some young lady will get out of the way of me seeing my keyboard, maybe I can do something here. Yeah, sweetheart, I love you too. Okay, you're gonna get up now too? Okay. And Boo's like, that's my chance to get back up here. I don't know what she did. Can you see this? She's got a big chunk taken out of her here with fur. These little asshats keep playing in the road. Good morning, Latoya. How are you today? Good to see you. Alright, you guys, I need to be able to lean forward, so you guys got to get down. Come on, down you go. Come on, honey. I'm sorry, but you got to get down. You can lay with the babies. Be nice to the babies. Alright, let's get TikTok up over here on the wonderful handy dandy iPhone. I know I have it on here somewhere. There we go. Okay, we've got, well.
Why does nostalgia hurt so bad sometimes? Well, it's because nostalgia is kind of like emotional time travel with no seatbelts, no helmets, no warning labels. Nostalgia hits you right in the gut because it knows where you buried every what if, every shoulda, coulda, woulda, every single regret. And it's not just remembering the good old days, it's realizing those days are gone. It's joy wrapped in sadness. A love letter to your past self with a PS from time that says you can't go back. It's hearing a song on the radio that used to make you feel invincible, and now you wonder where that version of you went. Remembering everybody that's no longer here, or worse, the people that are, and they just aren't the same. It's not just about the past. It's about grieving the person that lived it. The one that didn't need caffeine to survive, and used to dance in the kitchens and kiss with hope. One that never thought she'd be this tired. And fun was effortless, and sleep was free, and you were fueled entirely by dreams and hot pockets. It hurts because your dreams were once real. Because you were real. And life didn't just happen, you lived the fucking shit out of it. It hurts because you are homesick for a place that doesn't exist anymore. It's not just about the past, it's about the person you used to be before life wrung you out like some dirty dish rag and handed you a Costco-sized bag of trauma. And that person is still in there. They're just layered under adult responsibility and back pain and enough emotional baggage that you would get charged extra at the airport. Nostalgia reminds you that you lived, that you made it, that you felt something big and wild and real. Even if your back does scream every time you sneeze, your story is still kicking, it's still being written, and it is still worth remembering. So yeah, nostalgia is a little bitch, but she hurts because she mattered.
I just want to remind you that the pronunciation for the chips is Utz.
Okay. Yeah, you like Sherry? Yeah, Sherry's good.
Why does nostalgia hurt?
I watch a lot of her stuff. Her and that guy that does all the rock videos, the black guy. Professor something. I gotta look it up. My brain's not working this morning, y'all. Yes, it's still wet out, Fluff. Fluff is mad because it's raining. He wants to be outside and can't be outside because it's wet. Let's do.
So I get up this morning and I go to the gym. I'm just trying to be a little bit healthier than yesterday. I ain't trying to make no big leaps and bounds and shit because I'm still going to drink beer and dip stuff. But I'm trying to be a little bit better person than I was yesterday. So I got up, got my ambition, got my pre-workout, and off to the gym I went. Now I'm in there and I'm about 10 minutes prior to drinking my pre-workout, which means I can see sounds and smell colors. Okay, I am zeroed in on my workout, got Jelly Roll blasting in my AirPods. I'm fucking ready. Well, there's this dude in the gym who's been working out around the same time as me for like 2 years now. And I know his name, but I'm really not that invested in his life because I really don't give a fuck. Well, he comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, buddy." I said, "What's up, man?" Took out my fucking AirPod, which pissed me off. I said, "What's up, man?" He said, "You look like shit." I said, "Okay, fuck your soul, too. How about that?" In a joking way, we were kind of just bantering back at each other. He said, "No, man, what's going on? You look rough." I said, "Man, I'm fucking tired. You ain't tired?" He said, "Hell no, I ain't tired. I sleep like a baby." I asked him. I said, "What do you do for a living, buddy? I've never asked you before." He said, "Oh, I'm disabled. I don't have to work. I live off my disability check." I said, "Hold up at wrestling. You in here doing one-legged box squats, and you're disabled." He said, "Yeah, I'm disabled. I can't work. But you're in here benching 225 for sets of 12, doing box squats, 70-pound dumbbell lunges, pull-ups, all this. What exactly is wrong with you?" He said, "Oh, I got hurt on the last job site, and ever since then, they just deemed me disabled." I said, okay, let me explain something to you, buddy. You're the worst kind of fucking person in the world. I hate you. Right in front of everybody at the gym. Straight up and down. Because for all you people out there that keep on asking why most of us look tired, we look tired because we're constantly doing y'all's job. Okay, when you show up to work every day and you know when you're going in that if everybody on payroll shows up, you're still going to be shorthanded. You know that the first 3 hours of your day, every day, you're going to be on the phone with suppliers trying to find some kind of material to do your job with, and they can't get it to you because all the shit is locked up in fucking California sitting in the ocean. Every day is stressful. So for those of you that sit on your ass and wait on your check, don't bother the rest of us because we're picking up your slack. Every day, we wake up and we choose to make this nation run. You're living off of the results of our hard work. You're the worst type of person possible. And the fact of the matter is, y'all don't see anything wrong with it. Y'all have no issue at all just sitting on your ass while the rest of us are killing ourselves to make sure that our nation doesn't go bankrupt. But you don't care. Why? Because you don't care about anything but what you care about and yourself. That's why you let electronics raise your kids. That's why your kids act like fucking idiots. But it's okay though. Sit on your ass, wait on your check. Don't worry. These Red Wings and everything, we'll take care of it on the job site. Please enjoy your free check. Brought to you by the Red, White, and Fuck You. That is absolutely terrible. To those people out there sitting out there waiting on a check, and I'm not talking about if you're disabled. If you are disabled, I am proud to work for your disability. If you're an Army veteran and you got hurt in battle, my hat is off to you. I love you and I will always support you. But if you're one of these people milking the system, sitting at home and living off our tax dollars, I hope you step on a Lego, your first 10-pound bass breaks off at the boat, and I hope Chick-fil-A gets you down before the wrong. Shit. So I get up this morning and I go to the gym. I'm just trying to be a little bit healthier than yesterday. I ain't trying to make no big leap.
That kind of rubbed me the wrong way at first because he just went all in on all of us, huh? Latoya's frustrated. Why is Latoya frustrated? Latoya, how about you email me why you're frustrated, okay? Let's not talk about it in chat.
How are you?
Dave, how about that? We just watched Jaws last night. And off the coast of Atlantic Beach, North Carolina, there he is. He's coming to get somebody. That's a happy puppy, huh? Alright, what's going on with my chat now? Is it being stupid again? Alrighty. So what's going on with everybody? Y'all having a good morning? I posted a kind of heavy video on the Discord this morning. But I don't want to talk about. We'll talk a little bit about it in a little bit. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on it, but it's kind of a best scenario. Oh, okay, bud. I'm sorry. Why do you keep running outside? You're all freaking wet again, dude. No problem, Dave. Sorry, I gotta dry my cat off because he thinks it's fun to run outside and get mad when it gets wet. Don't you, puppy? Um, yeah, so Fluffy ran away, and, well, I don't know if he ran away. I think he got caught in the neighbor's over-the-road truck. Good morning, Ann. Ann says, got my garbage out and recycling, only gets picked up every 2 weeks. Wow, that would be crazy. Well, every 2 weeks? Man, ours would be overflowing everywhere. Well, no, it wouldn't, because we have a dumpster here, but... Well, good morning. Glad to have you here. So, here, let me share the happy dog again, because I like the happy dog. Who can't be happy with the happy dog? I'm sure. I hope you have a place to keep it away from the house. Dave, is this you? It says, so according to HR, I'm no longer allowed to answer the phone with, what the fuck now? I have a feeling that would be Dave answering the phone at work. I'll be honest, I've actually answered the phone that way when I knew who it was calling. No, you can't step there, honey. You cannot step there, baby girl. This is Miss Boo. Miss Boo's jealous because Fluffy's here. And if your friends get Amazon Prime and stuff, get them to give you their Amazon boxes and put all that nasty shit in a garbage bag inside the Amazon box and put it out on your porch. I bet somebody comes and takes it. That'd be hilarious. Make sure you get it on video, too. New green boxes coming this summer up to my rural area. Oh, you mean like those green community boxes where you can drive up to them and put all your shit in them? Is that the green boxes you're talking about? We have them all over the place here, too. Come on, get down. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, I gotta get a picture of this. You gotta see this. Hold on 1 second. If I get my big finger out of the way. So I told Sweet Pea, remember me telling Sweet Pea to get down and sleep in the bed with the babies? I did that back when we first started the show. That Sweet Pea curled up with Ferdinand in the cat bed right now. These cats are so damn cute sometimes, it makes me sick. Good morning, Andrea. We have to use clear bags for our garbage. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Alright, back to TikTok. No, we're not doing that one. Can you hear that okay? Andrew, we're going through TikTok this morning, and we're reacting to some of these things, so that one's kind of cute. Can't argue with it, especially with my health. I make Rice Krispies sound like mild, you know. Oh my.
Can somebody explain to me why I can remember song lyrics from like 40, 50, maybe even 60 years ago, but I'm not even 60 years old, word for word. Like timing, spot on with the beat, everything. But I can't remember why I just opened Google on my phone, or why I walked into work, or what I ate for breakfast. I'm not even sure I ate breakfast, or what that whatchamacallit is called, because you know, words are just hard. Like I know the whatchamacallit has a name, but I can't find the name in my brain. Like why can't my short-term memory and my long-term memory get on the same page? Are they not friends, neighbors, cousins, maybe? Why are they always fighting? Are they enemies? Can't they just get along, for fuck's sake? I just one time would like my short-term memory to outlast or outrun my long-term memory. My long-term memory is great, but I don't need it. I need the current shit that's going on in my life to show up. What's even funnier to me is that like the song lyrics that are in my brain, even the ones that are memorized wrong, like the words are just wrong, I still sing them. Like it's there. It's inlaid. Even if I tried to undo that, I tried to learn the lyrics the right way, it just doesn't work. But if I lay my phone down for 2 seconds, it disappears. I can't find it. It's usually in my back pocket. This aging shit is just it's fucking stupid. We now return to continue this
Let's see here. Should we help Thomas look for a new vehicle? Thomas, you want to help find a new vehicle for the boss? I give you a reason to come out here, Thomas, to visit. We have the world's largest auto auction here in Manheim, Pennsylvania. And they actually own 90% of the other auto auctions in the country. Florida, all across the country, they own auto auctions. Of course, they don't all call them Manheim Auto Auction, but they're all affiliated with the Manheim Auto Auction. And of course, I've got friends who are dealers that can go there. So that's usually how I get my vehicles is I go to my guy, my mechanic, and I say, hey, what, here's what I'm wanting, here's my price range, what do you think? And he'll be straight up with me, because the last time I was looking for a 4-wheel drive SUV, like my Explorer, he's like, anything 4-wheel drive is just like going like crazy right now. So, he's just like, you're going to, especially if you're looking at trucks, any kind of truck with 4-wheel drive, as in pickup trucks or work trucks like that, he tells you the truth about it. And he said, you're not going to touch anything with four-wheel drive that's less than 20, 30 years old for any, you're going to be paying $6,000, $7,000 just for that, as long as it's in decent shape. But yeah, he does good by us. So they have one day a year where anybody can go in and buy stuff. So have you looked into the Ford's employee pricing thing that they've got going on now, Thomas? They're extending employee pricing to all of us, apparently. And from what I understand, it is very much under MSRP. So it's definitely worth it if you like Fords and that. Won't touch a Ford. If it's taken care of, usually they're not too bad. I have had numerous. She's looking at a Nissan Pathfinder. They have zero interest.
I want to know why the Generation X generation not cancel Metallica and Megadeth when Dave Mustaine has something nasty to say about Kurt Cobain dying. I want to know why. I want to know why y'all didn't cancel Metallica. James Hetfield is a stupid son of a fucking bitch. That's nasty shit to say about Kurt Cobain and Lance Staley from Alice in Chains and the Case Dog that fucking know look it up. Because I'm proud of my generation. And Generation Z and Generation Alpha, because we cancel motherfuckers. We cancel motherfuckers, motherfuckers! To this hair, so I was prepared to make a video today, because it wasn't. Then I heard about this video, stopped everything, because this is a co-write from an emergency. I am a proud, hard-carrying member of Generation X. I was in a Debbie Gibson Generation X. Okay, I'm not medium. The people you're fucking with, the people you are poking, I was a cheerleader. Those are the grown-ups that kicked on us in high school. You were fucking, and they only got bigger. They are going to make me watch that video. They will put you in therapy or take it. There's no safe places in therapy. This is going to get really ugly. Did you not learn anything from me in a way? You're in trouble, girl. If you could have made anything, with your apology, we love my practice. One opinion on 2 words with a standard for a Gen X takes over dominance.
Yeah, I like Kelly too. Kelly Mano and Dad Bod Veteran. Are you saying hi, Boo? Is Miss Boo saying hi? You cannot sit there, honey. Dave said my first brand new vehicle was a Nissan. I absolutely loved it, an 87 pickup. Very cool, Dave. I've never owned a brand new vehicle, so. Nope. My first vehicle was a 1983 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. That was followed by a 1987 Firebird. And then what was my car after that? The car after that was a Bonneville. I believe that was my Bonneville. No, the car accident was actually a piece of shit. Dodge minivan, Dodge Caravan. They replaced the valve covers, but then didn't replace, or no, they replaced the heads, but not nothing on the bottom end of the vehicle. So it would blow out valve cover gaskets almost every single fucking day. It got to the point where it caught fire, and I just was letting it burn. It had full coverage on it. I'm like, fuck it, let it go. Let it go to the ground. I don't care. Mom went and put it out and ruined it, so yeah, I just got scrap metal for it. Yeah, big difference between, a couple grand for insurance cover payment but it is what it is. Dave said when the original Nissan Pathfinder came out, I couldn't wait to buy one. Never was able to afford one. Sorry, Ann, I didn't get to see your comment. Alright, Andrea. Hopefully you're feeling better soon. Hopefully I can make you laugh a little bit this morning. Well, I have my own vehicle. I'm just not allowed to drive it, and sometimes that's even worse. Let me see if I can find some vet dad. Damn it.
Gen X, these people just don't know what they've done. You've woken up, Gen X. I mean, you just don't understand what you've done. Gen X, their first lesson in science was to take a magnifying glass and angle it just so the sun comes through it and torch live bugs, burn them to death. These people literally spent their childhood beating the shit out of each other just to be best friends for life after. Pain doesn't exist. They would play tackle football in the middle of the street on the concrete and then yell car when a car was coming. And while kids today are eating sour candy as a challenge, Gen X literally impressed girls by putting cigarettes out on their tongue. They would literally take a lighter and heat up the metal on the top of the lighter and then turn it upside down and burn their skin just because they wanted to smile at these things.
We used to do that.
You're talking about a whole generation of people that rode around in cigarette smoke-filled cars with no seatbelts, let alone airbags. These people grew up being borderline tortured. When they got in trouble, their parents would send them outside to pick a switch, a long, skinny stick that was flexible enough to cut through the air and cut flesh. If they did not pick a suitable switch, they were made to go get another one, and it just got worse. And then, if they ever hurt themselves and fell off their bike and scraped their knee or whatever, they would wear these wounds like badges of honor. And even though we hurt ourselves, we would then go inside to see our parents, and they would pour peroxide on that shit and bubble and sizzle and turn on red. We wear that shit like badges of honor. Gen X was wild. We would have 4th of July, we would shoot Roman candles at each other, bottle rockets and shit. While y'all are standing 30 and 40 feet back from whoever set the fireworks off, we were in the middle of that shit, usually turning it upside down and shooting it at our kids. I mean, Gen X has cheated death our entire lives. All we wanted to do was sleep and rest. And you goofy bastards have made it absurd enough to live on this rock that we are coming out of retirement just to burn this bitch down to spite you, and then hopefully we can go back to sleep. If not, we'll stay awake. We'll just keep the fire going. Gen X don't quit. Y'all gonna learn one of these days. Gen X, these people just don't know what they've done. You've woken up, Gen X.
What do you think of that one? And there's no taxi here at all. Where I live. You're lucky if you can get an Uber to come out here. 32 Fahrenheit today, and Monday up to 27. That's a hell of a jump. 25 degrees. But I get it. This cold front's kind of weird the way it came across. So, seeing a lot more of the Gen X videos, and some of them are spot on, and some of them are kind of just really out there. Fluffy's a chocolate milk junkie. Or the mercurium. What was that red shit, Thomas? I hated that red shit more than iodine, honestly. Wow. That's really cool, man. Well, kind of cool, not. I gotta clean this litter box today. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad the kittens use the litter box, but I don't think they're the only ones using the litter box. Let me see something here. I wanna. Into the room. There's two of me. Whoa, calm down. There we go. There was the red shit, and yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, now, flip the camera. I want to see if you guys can see this or not. Let me see. Make sure I even have the right side. It's actually this side here. I don't know if you can see that scar there. But, I was riding bike. This is right after I started riding a 10-speed. And my front brake locked, and I ended up doing what's called an endo. An endo is when you lock up your front brake and your back tire comes up off the ground. It's a cool stunt to do. It's fun. As long as you control yourself as you're doing said stunt. Needless to say, I lost control of my bike. and I slid on my forearms for probably a good 10, 15 feet. Not a fun day. So, yeah, I ended up having a bunch of stones lodged in my skin and under my skin on my in my elbows in that area. And I got to sit there and get yelled at because every time Mom would pull a stone out, I'd flinch a little bit, you know. And yeah, she'd get mad at me over it. Whoops. Oh man. Something very hard for your stomach. Yeah. I was talking to a neighbor and we were talking about how when we were kids, you would go to your family doctor and your family doctor would just have jugs of medicine laying around. And he would go and give you a white packet at the end of your visit and get into these jugs and just hand them out to you. Whoops, wrong button. Wrong button. I want to go to search. Alright. My one grandmother was in an accident years ago and got gravel in her head. And my mother had my grandmother never got all the gravel pieces out before leaving years ago. Wow. That's sad. Hurry back, Thomas. Okay. Could have sworn I was following him. Trying to go to this dude's content, but it's not letting me see it.
Word China on this. That's why they've won 66 medals since they brought them to the Symphony Games. Let's just stick to track and field and all those other things, shall we? If there was any confusion as to why China is the best at table tennis in the Olympics, they should put this to rest. Because he's actually not in full practice mode yet. This is just a warm-up. And if you do that with nunchucks, imagine what you could do with a full-size paddling pan with much more surface area. No. America, we just need to bow up. There's nothing there's absolutely no competition between us and, well, basically the entire world in China on this. That's why they've won 66 medals since they brought it to the Symphony Olympics.
Hurry back, Dave. Be safe, bud.
This is my chicken. Smothered chicken.
Grandma, no offense, but I don't think that smothered is the right word for that. I think waterboarded is probably the more appropriate term. It looks like that chicken spent some time in Gitmo and actually just gave up. No, maybe you could...
This is my...
So this is what he's talking about. This picture here. The woman has chicken drumsticks and some kind of soup-like broth. And yeah, she's saying that that's smothered. That's not smothered. That's just covered with water. So that's why he's making the comments that he's making here. Whoops.
Hey y'all, so now that I'm away from home a lot on the Gen X Takeover Comedy Tour, I've been a lot more concerned about keeping my family and home safe while I'm gone, especially after that stalking incident. I have the standard security stuff like cameras and door locks, but one of the most critical pieces of my home security is my partnership with the legal. It would be really easy for anyone.
Whatever.
I was today years old when I found out that this doesn't mean yuck, yuck, yuck. I thought it was another funny way to laugh, like LMAO or LOL. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Okay, so let's address this quick.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
What she's talking about is the acronym for IYKYK. Now, this might come as a surprise, but it means if you know, you know. She thought it was just another like laughing emoji type thing. Apparently that's how Goofy laughs or some for shit. So let's see what he has to say about it.
I thought it was another funny way to laugh, like LMAO or LOL. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
I think he needs a drink.
In a feeble attempt to not overstate the obvious, she obviously didn't know.
I was today years old when I...
Chicken. I require all my guests to eat off the floor.
Well, I can tell you who's not hosting Thanksgiving dinner. I don't exactly think that it would be very good to put my cranberry sauce all over the floor and try to eat it up. Are they required to use their hands, or can they actually use utensils? I just need to clarify that part because it's really important, especially when we're talking about mashed potatoes and gravy. Look, kids, there is, of course, the opportunity that you can break tradition and go a different path in this world, but do understand that there will be a little bit of a lashback from those traditionalists, as we are, who want to sit at the table, use utensils, plates, proper silverware for the situation. Might I recommend that if you have one of these, I don't know, different perspectives on the way the world should work, that you should keep that very close to the heart, at least until you establish a really nice friend group who will participate in the said deviation from the social norms. Just a thought.
I require all my guests
Yeah,
to eat off the floor.
I won't be eating at her house either, so you know. Nope. I don't care how clean your floor is. Ain't happening. Man, this rain is killing me. Anybody else Does the rain affect anybody else that way? It makes you want to sleep. It just knocks the energy out of you. Oh, yeah? Apparently Fluffy agrees with me. Oh, my. I might have to run in and make some coffee. Five-second rule. Thomas says as long as he can grab it within 5 seconds of being on the floor, he's good with it. Yeah, I think I saw her. Wasn't she dumping like ramen noodles on the floor? I'd be afraid the ramen would start running from you. It'd hit the ground and mutate into some kind of crazy spaghetti monster. All right. What else do we got going on TikTok?
I grew up watching a lot of cartoons. I met my first hardcore drug users when I was only 6 years old. I am, of course, talking about Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. Can we get on board with this? Part of becoming an adult is realizing those two characters were high all of the time. And you could tell because they were never really scared of the monsters. They were more concerned with the munchies. Like they'd see a monster, like Soaring Scoops, check it out, there's a vampire. Yeah, maybe he's got some Scooby snacks. And they had the dumbest ideas in the world. Watch that show as an adult. Only a stoner would have these stupid thoughts. They would be in a haunted castle in the middle of the night, pitch black dark, and hear a noise. Like Soaring Scoops, did you hear that? Yeah. Like maybe someone's baking a cake. What are the odds someone's baking a cake? In a haunted castle. In the dark, only a pothead would think, like, maybe there'll be cake. I told my mom at 6 years old, she got furious. She was like, you know what? Maybe they weren't high. Maybe that is the way the characters were created. I was like, Mom, let's be honest. Shaggy could talk to a dog. Like, have you ever thought you might be high? And you look at your dog and say, hey, dog, I can really go for a pizza. If your dog looks back and says, yeah, me too, guess what? You're high. Get a van, find some friends, solve some mysteries. I grew up watching a lot of cartoons. I met...
Good morning, Cal. How you feeling, buddy? Hopefully you're feeling better. Andrea, are we making you laugh a little bit this morning? Cal, we're going through TikTok. TikTok. Oh, my. I really can't say what I call the new Pope on here. It'll get me in trouble. But I'll let you know on Discord what I call the new Pope.
The spoiled food keep ending up.
You feel wealthy. You must have sold something.
Why the heck is your whole room full of this stuff? Did you...
That's my scary.
say nothing to me. I didn't want me. It scares me. I am gentle with animals, am I? Oh my gosh, I just yelled it.
Now look, I know several, and I mean several, 300-plus-pound men that would squeal with such a blood-curdling screech that it would cause Mariah Carey to have to take a winter off. I mean, these Gen X squared are built somehow different, and I don't know what happened between my generation and the current generations that exist in adulthood, but these ones may actually bring the Earth back to its former fitting fashion. Either that, or they're actually just Australians that have been transported to America and are going to slowly take over. Either way, I do enjoy watching you do things like this, and I do enjoy hearing all the blood-curdling squeals that come out of the larger people whenever they're reported. All we have to do is just get through these Gen Zers.
So the little girl is apparently like holding bees. You finally sold the house. That's going to be my guess. Cal said, yeah, guess what happened, Chris? For some reason, I'm not getting Cal's chat over here on this, so let me reset it. All messages. There it is. Yeah. Y'all want to go over to Rumble and talk? No, we're not doing that this morning. Let's just say screw it. I call him the pedo-protecting Pope. That's my nickname for him, and that'll be his nickname for forever. So, boy, you have mega gas. Holy crap, he's stinking me out here. Started last night. Oh, hold on. Let me get the chat back up here. Alrighty, I'm happy to hear it, bud. Yeah. I predict within the next month and a half, you'll see that he will be blessing homosexual marriage, and all kinds of other crazy stuff. He'll be worse than Francis. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research into him, so he's one of those ones that's very wishy-washy because he doesn't want you to know exactly how he feels. Those are the worst people to have in power because they turn into people like Justin Trudeau, you know. Let's see. Some local news. A school bus with students on board involved in morning crash. A Cornwall Lebanon School District bus was involved in a crash Friday morning. Oops. What did I click on by accident? This rain is killing me, guys. Between that and all the damn cats laying here sleeping. I do want to do this here one, though. I have one YouTube reel that I want to play.
Doing some raids with ICE this morning, and they picked up some dudes from 18th Street. For doing some raids with ICE this morning, and they picked up some dudes. So Kristi Noem was out doing some raids with ICE this morning, and they picked up some dudes from 18th Street. For those of you who don't know, 18th Street is a Hispanic gang that's like pretty big in the streets. And according to Kristi Noem, all of them are verified, known gang members with strong criminal records who are here illegally. While they were being detained, one of them tried to kick Kristi Noem right in the face. He narrowly missed, but Kristi Noem's reply to him was what I found personally hilarious. She said, "You're not going to scare me trying to kick me while you're wearing Crocs." Which I personally thought was great because these are the least intimidating shoes in the history of shoes and intimidations. When I got into the comment sections, I was a little taken aback because there were so many angry commenters who were pissed off because she had her hair and her makeup done. All I'm saying is she knows she's going to be on TV. They do that every single time that they do these raids. And I also know that I've never been with a woman in my life who would knowingly go on TV without putting in a little bit of effort. They're saying that she's just cosplaying being law enforcement, and they're calling her deportation Barbie. Are y'all upset about her appearance when she goes out to do this stuff? Let me know what you think in the comments. But Kristi Noem was...
So what are your thoughts on that?
Because there were so many...
Hoping for a conservative pope, yeah. We all were, Thomas. We all were. You know, if the Fatima prophecy comes true, apparently this is supposedly the last pope before Christ comes back, if I'm right. Am I right, Cal, on that one? So, which just completely defies what the Bible tells us about the end times, because the Bible says no one will know when the end times are. There will be signs that we're in the end times, but the actual time when Christ comes back is unknown to any of us. So, yeah. Cal says, "I do like Kristi. She's kicking ass. I adore this. Let her do it as long as she does the work." Yeah, I just said, I commented on here. I just said, people are petty as hell, bud. I'm the comment right there at the top. Let me turn the damn contrast down. I don't know why. It's so hard to see shit on here. But there you go. You can see. Chatting with Sasquatch just over an hour ago. I posted, people are petty as hell. Minus 15 to 20 years if the prediction is right. I'm going to go out there and say that I don't believe in the prediction because, again, the Bible says that we'll see the signs of the end times, but we will not know when he will be back. You don't think he picked the name? Hi, young lady. Hi, young lady. What are you doing? Alright, we're going to do this. Because Mommy and the kitties are too cute to not have up there today. So we're going to do this. We're going to pop that in there like so. Enter. Make sure the volume's turned all the way down. Okay, we need to flip the camera around. Can you see the Mommy? Wasn't it supposed to be another iteration of Peter that he was supposed to pick? If I'm correct. So Mommy's got 4 of the babies with her. And the other baby's right here just chilling out with Sweet Pea. Cal, we had a Swedish guy in here yesterday afternoon talking to us. He wants to come over here and be a farmer. I'm really surprised they didn't go with the Italian guy. That one, I thought it was a toss-up between the Italian and the Filipino, but, you know, they do what they want to do. Let me see if I can get this to stay up here where I want it at. There you go. Wait, hold on. I missed some comments here. I gotta go back. Here a second. All messages. Alright, Kelsa. Well, they're kinda calling him Roman now. Watch for him to get a nickname related to it. Shame I missed them. I'll marry them if they'll vote Republican. That's funny. Oh, shoot. Miss Boo. So, what do y'all got planned for the weekend? Anything fun, exciting? Why is it not? It shows that it's on her. There, that's better. Is that a better view? I guess if the rain cuts that back, we're gonna work in the garden and stuff. I gotta take care of the neighbor's animals for the weekend. Cal says bill paying, getting some stuff, more stuff done. Thomas says make sure they can cook and have money, Cal. Thomas wants Cal to find a sugar mama. Oh boy. So, yeah, it's been a crazy night last night. And it's kind of weird. And I think correlation actually reaches causation here. Reed Hensley says, name you need to run. Oh, wait, hold on. Reed said, Sasquatch, I am from a 3-letter agency which I will not name. You need to run. Thanks, Reed. How you doing? Welcome in. Good to have you here. You have a good sense of humor. I like that. Cal says, well, I prefer to cook, and I'm the one with some money right now, so Unfortunately, everybody usually knows how to find this Sasquatch, Reed. So, as I carry on that I'm the hide-and-seek champion, I'm really not. That goes out to the other ones that are actually good at hiding. My fat ass sticks out like a sore thumb. Let's see. Does Reed have a channel? Reed has a channel with 4 subscribers. No description. You should put a description on your channel there, Reed. But glad to have you here. We try and have fun here. We were watching TikToks earlier, making fun of the Pope. I don't know of anybody that likes this new Pope yet. I know people have high hopes for him. They're hoping, but you know, my grandmother used to have a saying, and it was wish in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first, you know. I think we're going to have a lot of Catholics with a lot of shit in their hands. Sorry to say. I'm waiting for the backlash on that one. Oh, man. I love my Catholic friends. I do. I just think you're... Cal says, I like that we're both from Chicago. He worships the wrong team, though. That's how I know he's an agent of the enemy. Good morning, Ruth. Reed says, oh no, Cal, you're a Cubs fan. I see Cal as more of a White Sox fan, if anything. Nope, I'm wrong. He's a Cubs fan. It all depends on who you're talking to. I know lots of Chicagoans who actually got into fistfights over the Cubs and White Sox. Go Reds. Harry Carey was too drunk to remember, huh? That doesn't surprise me about that era. You woke up too late this morning? Uh-oh. I'm sorry to hear that, Ruth. Hopefully it was nothing important. Can you hear that drip, drip, drip in the background? That is driving me nuts. I'm going to have to go take a piss here in a couple minutes because it's just like messing with my bladder. Does anybody else have that problem? You hear too much water? Hey, Fluff, it's still raining out. And now he's got the kids up. Great. Thomas asked if Tiffany didn't wake you up, Ruth. Did Richard take Tiffany out for you? As Cal says. Well, good morning anyway, late or not. we all arrive on time in the eyes of God. That's true. People don't realize God knows what we're going to do before we do it, and most of the time. You know. Okay, so y'all want to talk about some actual religion and changes that I've made since I started actually talking to you guys about religion? Is that something you're interested in this morning? Because I've got some stuff to share with you if you want. Not that late, but I'm normally up by 7. I took her out when I got up. Aha. It happens, Ruth. It's all my fault. I didn't send you your email to join the show this morning. You can blame me, Ruth. Cal says sure. Let me see what everyone else here says. All right, Cal. I'll wait till you're back. But, I take speaking to you about religion very serious. I try to lead by example. I know I cuss too much. I am still working on that. I'm praying for that. If you pray, please pray for me with that. I would appreciate it very much. Prayer does work. And making new habits is going to be your biggest thing with religion. One thing that a lot of people get wrong Yeah, no problem, Ruth. My oldest brother is coming in a couple weeks. I'm not looking forward to it. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you have a good visit, and it'll surprise you, hopefully. But anyway, one thing that a lot of people get wrong is they think that just because they say a prayer and they ask Jesus into their heart that makes them saved. That's not true. And this is about Christianity. I'm not blasting any other religions at this point. I'm just talking about Christianity, which is what I follow. There are so many people who still keep going out and doing the same things over and over again, the same sins against God that God warns us about. But they say that they're saved because they accepted Jesus into their heart. There is nowhere in the Bible where it says that if you accept Jesus into your heart, you're saved. Jesus said that if you believe in him, you are saved, therefore go and sin no more. You are supposed to become a new person. What the hell? What happened there? My volume turned up on my iPhone. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Oh, nice, Ruth. Ruth says, Thomas, you asked what software I used for editing a week or so ago, and I told you Clipchamp as a window app. Actually, I discovered yesterday it is accessible as a website. That's cool. I'll have to check it out then. I don't edit the videos that I do, but I do like to edit some of the shorts, put some effects in. I don't know if you saw the fire video where I actually put a slow motion part in there that I thought was really cool. So, but yeah, just subtle things for like TikTok and reels and stuff like that. But that's a reason why there's going to be a lot of people Thomas says still have to get my laptop from the cabin, so I have Windows, I have a Mac at the house. Gotcha. And Fluffy's up top, okay. But that one mistake is why a lot of Christians are going to be very surprised on Judgment Day, in my opinion. From, what I've gathered from reading the Bible about that subject. I'll have to look at the web version. The web version will probably work on your Mac, Thomas. I would be very surprised if it didn't. So, when Cal gets back, I'll get into my personal change here. But, one thing the Bible says is that people who share the Word of God are held to higher standards than anyone else. If you mislead, if you get it wrong, there is a special place in hell for you, and I really don't want to spend all of eternity with the likes of Joel Osteen, Kenneth Copeland, Jesse Duplantis, Joyce Mayer. That would be a torture. That would be a fate worse than death, honestly. And says, so glad garbage gone, but bag leaked, so take out some bleach to clean later, because after 2 weeks, you can imagine the smell. Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to listen to Joel Osteen giving me a pep talk and telling me how I can make myself better. That would be like the worst thing in eternity, I think. Cal laughed and said, Joel Osteen. Bruce said, from Edge, Chrome, or Firefox so far, all of them work on the website and work in conjunction with the app too. Okay, cool. Cal says, sorry, it took so long, I had to go sit down and vote for the Pope, huh? That's funny, Cal. Okay, so we're going to get personal here. So, if you're offended easily, this might not be a conversation for you, because we're going to talk about sex and stuff like that. I've always been a very virile person. I've always had a very healthy drive, I'll say. And sometimes, when you have a healthy drive like that, you take things into your own hands, quite literally. And that is upon in the Bible. That is a form of adultery, I believe the Bible says. So, I've been doing a lot of praying and stuff, and I've completely stopped all of that. I've completely stopped looking at women in that way. And it does change how you see things. It changes how you perceive the world around you. More and more men are getting into this AI girlfriend stuff. And it's hard not to see it's hard not to see why. They are just bombarded constantly by this shit of, you're playing a game and this stuff pops up with these games telling you that you should play it, and that has girls in all these different provocative positions, and you're taking their clothes off by beating different rounds. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, this is part of the problem. This is part of the reason why things are getting so bad. It's why people are losing their moral compass. And you're seeing it more and more in just the way people treat each other. Back in the day, if somebody was drowning, people would jump in and help save that person. Now, 99% of people will just take and pick up a fucking phone, turn their camera on, and they'll record the person dying. Because that'll get them clicks. It'll get them, they can get people to like their video and join subscribe to their channel and shit because of the shock content. And it says got a parcel in the mail, and it was an envelope with not envelope postage, and someone took the time to warn about religion that go knocking on people's door. Interesting, Ruth. Anne, I'm sorry. So, sensationalism. I mean, it's just, no matter what you're doing. I get on Facebook, and I've gotten, when you're going through the reels, they'll sometimes put ads at the bottom of the of the reels. They'll put ads down there, and usually it's for something cool like fluorescent lighting or keychains or some shit like that. But I've been getting a lot more of porn ads down there. I accidentally clicked on it the one time because I couldn't tell what it was. And the next thing I know, it pops up and there's two people going at it right on my screen. And I'm just like, what the ever loving hell is this? And yeah, I'm just, all right, Cal, have a good day. Be safe. So, The biggest part of Christianity is supposed to be your relationship with God through Jesus Christ. And that is only something you can do. The Pope can't do that for you. Your preacher can't do that for you. Only you can do that. It is up to you to reach out to your God and talk to him. Pray. Who's zooming who is the best controversy to watch right? Well, there's so much crap. And don't get me wrong, sensationalism has sold forever. Newspapers used to do it. The National Enquirer is like the best known tabloid for known sensationalism over the years. 5 books for Thomas. What did I miss there? Oh, definitely, Ruth. Ruth says the old saying too, sex sells. Yeah, they're always saying, prostitution's the oldest what is it? Prostitution's the oldest profession in the world or something. That's something I tried to instill in Caitlin, is that this world is over-sexualizing young women and causing issues. Hi, Fluff. Oh my gosh, you're all wet and covered in shit now. Come here. Come here, my Fluff. Is there a leak up there or something? But we need to do better with teaching our young people that this whole feminism thing is a lie. We need to get them to try and get them back into traditional values, in my opinion. Ann says, my brother who passed away used to help a homeless person in need of a couch or food, and now sadly sending my son messages, and I am not impressed. Have a good day, Thomas. We'll talk to you later, bud. Yeah, we're going to wrap up here in a couple of minutes. Hi, Jay. Welcome in, bud. Looking back on things, I would definitely probably try and talk the younger generation into longer relationships and to keep sex out of it until after marriage, because a lot of kids right now are misinterpreting, good pheromones, good feelings from endorphins, which when you have sex, it releases endorphins into your brain, and those endorphins can be misconstrued as love. And that's one of the reasons why so many couples, after they get to the point where they're bored and they're not having sex all the time, start having problems because their relationship was based on the sex. It wasn't based on love and mutual respect, Anyone else feel that way? Or am I just old-fashioned? Nothing on that one? You agree? Yeah, unfortunately, we've all learned that lesson, and, we've got to try and teach that lesson to the younger generation. And don't get me wrong, ladies, I love you. I don't want to take anything away from you. So when I say the feminism thing was a lie, it's not saying that I don't want you guys to have these rights or this and that. It's that it literally robbed women of the one thing that they're, made for in the Bible, and that is to nurture the family. Most women should be at home taking care of kids, taking care of the household. And that's not meant in a sexual way, sexist way, or anything like that. It's just that's what the best role is for most women in our society. Unfortunately, this whole lie made it so that most women actually wanted to work, so they went out in the workforce. That caused the wages to drop because now you have an overabundance of workers. So now you can dictate how much you're going to pay them, because if they don't like it, you'll find somebody else that'll do it. There's just a lot to unpack there. And so my brother didn't keep the homeless person all the time, but did give a ride once in a blue moon and a couch if need be. But I donated lots of food and clothes and funds for food and gas, but need to do me. Huh. Well, Ruth says we get further and further from the years when that was necessary to break this glass ceiling and women needed to prove themselves. Sorry, Mom's messaging me. What the hell did I do now? Oh, stupid phone. So, Andrea said women are nurturers. Most women, yes. Not all women. I mean, I've seen some really bad mothers over the years, too, and a lot of that is something that's learned. Jay says somebody has to raise the kids. More kids are being raised by the internet. Yeah. Sadly, that is true, Jay. Unfortunately. And a lot of stuff is getting through to these kids, that the parents don't even know about. 40s and 50s were the turning point. I think, yeah, basically right after World War II, during World War II was that shift. So many women had to go to work because the men were fighting. And, yeah, that's definitely part of it. And you said, oh yeah, my mom is not one of them. Yeah, so, but, and you said, I have seen men be good nurturers too, but women for the most part are naturally that way. Well, I try to, I've done that role of both parents many times with Katie growing up. And I found that the more I have to have my foot in her ass, the less nurturing I can be, But yeah. Is there anything you just want to talk about to wrap things up here? Well, I don't. Please don't take this the wrong way, Andrea. I appreciate the thought, but I didn't do it for any other reason than I wanted my daughter to grow up in a loving situation where, she knew she could come to me if she had to, and yeah. And if you don't have it to help, then or you don't want to help, just let them know you can't do it anymore. That's the best thing I can tell you. Bruce says with my ex, he thought that's what role he was going to take when my stepdaughter moved in with us at 14. Instead, he was the best friend while I did the raising and he got the credit. Yeah, that's something I wouldn't put that on somebody else. I'm the one who's going to be the authoritative person in Caitlin's life. That's my role. It is my role to make sure that she is doing what she's supposed to. that doesn't mean that I have to be a hard ass all the time. But so I'm sorry you got shafted there, Ruth, because that makes you look like the bad guy in this situation, even though you're just, giving the discipline that needs to be there. Andrew said that is what kids need, guidance and sometimes tough love. Yeah. Oh yeah. Me and Katie still, even to this day, go back and forth about certain things that she's been doing, and I have to remind her that, hey, maybe this isn't the best way to handle certain situations, and I sit down and we have talks about it. So, but oh boy. My son never bothered with the homeless person, although he played hockey years ago with homeless people. And she is sending my son messages wanting rides. Can you imagine how my son's not impressed? Let me pin that right there real quick. Andrea said later she will be thankful, Chris. I didn't like my dad being hard on me at the time, but now I'm so thankful. As dads, and I know Jay can attest to this probably, and Dave, Thomas, one of our roles is to A, be an enforcer, and B, to make adjustments needed for situations. Yeah. And it's a thankless job, it really is. And being a single mother is a thankless job as well. So I appreciate single mothers too. I appreciate the ones who are not in a position because they decided that they, they don't need the man because, big bad government gives them all their shit that they need. And then they go out and act like Miss Boss Lady. That kind of woman pisses me off. Because a lot of times they use the kids as like bartering chips. And a lot of times it looks as though they don't give a shit about the kids. They just use them to get money, Ruth said one thing I miss is the talks I had with my dad. But and it says my brother was kind and would give anyone a ride or food or couch. Unfortunately, now this now gone. This person is well known by the police. Well, that's not a good sign. You definitely want to stay away from that, Ann. So, alrighty. Well, thanks for hanging out this morning, everybody. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you had a good time with us. Depending on what happens, let me go check the weather real quick. Oof, nobody showing me here. She's walking on my stomach. Let's see, 7 o'clock, 13 mile per hour winds. That's not going to work. Yeah, I should be able to have. I might have a fire tonight. We'll see how the wind is and stuff. Even if the wind's a little bad, we've got enough rain the last couple of days. So, do me a favor. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. You know, pray for each other. If you need support, reach out. You know, we have a good support system here in place. We just need people to use it. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here. Love y'all. And yeah, we'll see y'all this evening, hopefully. Take care. Be safe. I will see you on Discord today. I got some stuff I want to post about. And yeah, be safe. If anyone wants to join me for the fire tonight, let me know and I'll make sure you get a link. But alright. Peace, y'all. We'll see y'all later. Have a great day.